everyone, welcome to Weekend Project. I'm Lauren and I'm the Mama Pop Quilt Shop, and we're very happy to see you here today. We're doing the countdown to Christmas. So I thought I'd do a nice gift for a new couple. This is their first Christmas together and they're expecting their first baby very soon, come the new year. And I thought I'd make them a nice little gift. So matching stockings. I figured, you know, what a way to start it all off together. And so I made the one for the gentleman here with a little bit of the blue band on top and then a black little holder. And this I'm going to show you how to do a French seam. Okay? It's all tucked in there. No raw edges whatsoever. Super easy. You'd be so surprised. All right. So what I want to do for the girl is do the same sock, the same pattern, same everything else like that, but a red band just to kind of keep them, you know, separate from each other. You know what I mean? All right. So I just traced out a normal sock sort of pattern, and I'm just going to rotary cut her out and maybe possibly use the ruler, but I just did a chalk. I just kind of went, you know, it's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 inches wide, and then come around here and then just do a little bit of scoop for like the toe of the boot, and then back around again. You can either do a nice pointed heel or a rounded heel or whatever makes you happy, right? So and that's a good size. That's not too big, that's not too small. The perfect size. Okay. All right, let's move that pin over here, and we're just going to go down. So we have to make our little form of the toe. So I want to make sure this part is nice and straight. Okay, so keep it down there. And then I'm going to follow my chalk line, which I have. Okay. And then just kind of scooping out the toe. I might make hers a little bit bigger. Just because I can. There we go. And I find the rotary cutter easy for this, or you can just use your scissors, you know. Don't make it too complicated. It's all good. Okay. And you can make small ones. This is a great one to make small ones if you just want to give them as gifts, or if you want to use the small ones as the advent calendar. I think that's a great idea too. Okay, we've got a little bit of a hairy bit on that side. Let's do a little press. I guess I didn't see that because I want to make sure it's nice and even. Okay. All right, it's just all right, let's just even that up just a smidgy smidge. Just a little bit furry. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right, so now to do a French seam is you keep the wrong sides together, and you're going to sew around this edge all the way by about a 1/4 inch seam allowance, okay? Now, you could do smaller, but then you have a tendency to sometimes fray the fabric or go off or whatever. I find it easier to sew the 1/4 inch and then trim it. You're going to trim it a little bit because when you go to turn it the right side out and when you sew down the seam, you're tucking that raw edge right in between of where it's folded over and you're going to sew. So there's no, like I said, there's no raw edges. It's nice and even, and it's beautiful. Especially if you just wanted to do something that wasn't lined. That's a great thing to do for a French seam, okay? So you can pop a few pins in to make sure everybody's going to stay where they need to stay as we go around. And I just chose white thread so you can see, but it doesn't take away from my project at all. You can't tell. It's not going to be, you know, they're not going to be bothered by it. I just thought this might be a nice gift. They may not need stockings, but whatever. I'm doing what I'm doing. Okay, and I did take the big part of my machine out so I can use the throat. So when we go and put on the band, the top of the cuff sort of thing for the stocking, I have it be able to go all the way around, okay? So keep close to the edge. Either do a 1/4 or an 1/8, whatever you're comfortable with. And don't forget to stop and pivot or do the curve gently, depending on what kind of style of stocking you're making, because there's many different styles. I'm going to try and ride it close to the edge on all the curved parts. But I'll show how I trim up and on that little straight part that I just did. So, but the rest of them, I'm just kind of trying to hug it as best I can. And hopefully, if someone needs a stocking, or because there's always new ones being born all the time, so they always need a stocking. And the pedal close to the floor for a reason, so all the way. Okay, all the way around. Okay, super easy. All right, do a little back stitch, just make sure our hard work stays. And then take the pins out, okay? And where you think it's more than your 1/4 inch, give it a little trim to about 1/8, okay? Should put a bell on the bottom of this. Ding, 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 ding. I'm driving myself crazy. Short trip. All right, so oops, there we go. And I found it easier to use scissors. So I trimmed it all the way around, sewed it all the way around. I tried to get really, really close to the edge there. And then where it is a little bit farther away up here, I'm gonna just trim it just a smidge, okay? Just so you can see that. It's all very straight right there. Maybe Pop can zoom in for just a second there. So come really, really close all the way around, and then trim where you think it's a little bit more than the 1/4 inch, like right here and then right up on this side, okay? Just to be on the safe side, because you don't want all your hard work and then you're gonna have to take it out, right? Seam ripper is sometimes not always your best friend. Not if you have one of those kind of days. That's for sure. Very excited. Only one more whole weekend till Christmas. Very, very exciting. All right, so it's just this little part here. Okay, so once you get this trimmed, we're going to turn it so the inside is out, okay? The whole thing. All the way down. Okay, and then ride your finger along the seam. So you're making sure the seam is coming out and you're rolling it together. If you need to press it, go ahead and press it. That's a good, if you want to press it, go ahead. You don't have to, but that's up to you. You can just kind of like finger maneuver it to where you want it to go. Okay, let's get the little toe out here. Okay, just running my hand or a couple of fingers along that little seam, just so they get pronounced. I know exactly where they're going to be. Okay. And of course, you can hit this with a little press. Just roll it until you get it so it's nice and even. You don't want anything tucked under, okay? You want it nice and even. Everybody's laying flat. Everybody's cool in the pool sort of thing. Okay. And we'll sit that with a little bit of heat. Okay. Just so when we go around again, we know it's nice and flat. Okay. And I've seen some big stockings. I think I made me a bigger stocking than I made Pop a couple years ago. You have to check out that video. We had fun. Okay, so now that is done, that is the pressing part. We've sewn it, and now we've trimmed it, and we've turned it so the wrong side is out. And now we're going to go and do the same thing, but we're going to do it a nice 1/4 inch seam allowance, and that's going to enclose whatever that raw edge that we had left over. That's going to enclose it all in there. Just keep it all as one little unit. Okay, if you're worried about seams rolling or stuff like that, you can always just put in a couple of pins. All right, I think I might there, especially on the straightaways. Okay, doo-dee-doo. And maybe on this side, just right there, and right here. And hopefully you're ready for the holidays, and you have some plans with family, because that's the most important thing. All right. Okay, and this is approximately, like I said, about, 8 inches across the top, and from toe to heel, you're looking at about 19-20 inches, or sorry, top to heel, and then from toe to heel, you're looking at about 16. So, that's good size. That's a good size. And we're just going to sew all the way around as a 1/4 inch seam allowance, okay? And I'm giving them one of the, this young couple, the baby quilts that I did up, the one that's got the circles on it. They will get it as well for their little one that they are expecting. I'm very excited for them. Now you can totally do this as a patchwork, but you may want to line it and not do the French seam. That's completely up to you. This is more for like a nice continuous solid fabric, and you just want to, you want to tidy up the edges without having a serger or having a, the foot that kind of seals it all up on the sides. And this will make it last a whole lot longer. It really will. Okay. Now, to check our work, we're going to take the sock and turn it so it's right side out and make sure we're not seeing any of those little raw edges, okay? So all the way around, we want to give it a nice inspection, making sure, a couple little frayed edges, that's okay, or little furry bits, that's all right. We can trim those if they were there, but we don't want any raw edges showing out. And I think we are good. I think we're good. Okay. All right, so let's just roll it out. Roll out our seam again. We're just rolling out in the other direction. Okay. I'm just giving that little boot some shape. Roll the toe out. Okay. And hopefully they will have this in their family for a very, very, very long time. I thought it was nice to make sure that the couple had a matching set, and then they can always buy one for the little munchkins, whatever year, or, they can get it, the classic one, or if they have some sort of a unique one, or if they want me to make one, I'll be happy to. Happy to for next year when the little munchkin's here. So, all right. There we go. Is that cute? Perfect little sock. Okay, and we know the seam is all sealed up, all right? Okay, say for our cuff, when I did do the measurement of this, it came out to be about, 14 inches to go all the way around. So I think I cut this at 14 and a half, and I did, so I'm going to go and put a nice seam allowance on it. I'm going to sew the short edges together. It's 14 and a half by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inches, okay? And then we're going to sew the short side, and then we're going to sew this one here, which is just a piece of black fabric that is 4 inches by 11 and a bit inches, okay? And I just fold it down about 3/4 or 1/4, sorry, or 1/3 is what I meant to say, and then over 1/3-ish, and then fold the two rolled edges together, okay? Just like that. And then we're going to sew down, but I'm going to use a decorative stitch. Let me just go down. Hi, Sophie. I'm just trying to get my attention here. All right. A nice, beautiful decorative stitch that matches that one there. I usually use it as the sealing up the binding on quilts and stuff like that. I use that stitch. What are you doing, Lovi? All right. So then I just want to continue on that, sealing up the raw edges together, but making sure it's a nice, good strap that it can be hung up from somewhere, and sturdy. I want this to be able to hold things. If they hang them, I want to be able to hold it, right? I don't want anything to break. Okay, and we're going to tuck that in. And in no time at all, this project will be done, and you'll be like, what? We did that? All right, so isn't that cute? Nice little decorative little stitch on there. You can use a zigzag. You can even use, if you got some really pretty, neat, funky ones, you could use those as well. Okay, so now we're just going to take this right here, and we're just going to fold it in on itself with the wrong sides together, popping out the right side, okay? So folding the wrong sides together, popping out to the right side, okay? And because I want this to hang up at the back of the heel, not at the front, most of them, I've done that before and went, uh-oh, what did I do wrong? So I want this to go at the back where the seam is. So I'm going to make sure that when I put this together, I'm taking and I'm folding this in half, which is going to be the bottom part, and I'm coming up right underneath where that seam is, okay? And then I'm going to take this, actually it's going to go in between there, right here, and I'm going to line it on the inside of this sock here, okay? So I have the band, the holder, and the seam allowance for the back of the boot all together here, okay? And I'm going to put a pin in, or a couple, or whatever you need. Now that's going to be thick there, okay? And if you find that your band doesn't fit in here, it's a little big, a little small. If it's a little small, you're going to have to seam rip it out and put a new one in, you know, a little bit over to the other side. If it's a little big, just kind of come in a little bit more on another little seam allowance, maybe like an 1/8 or something like that, and it takes up another 1/4. So just make sure it fits all the way around, nice and pretty like, just like that, okay? Just all the way around. And that little hanger is tucked in between the band and the sock, okay? Because you're going to sew that together and ensuring that it's going to be nice and secure, okay? And it's going to be able to hold the sock. All right, so just popping in a few pins all the way around, okay? And I'm going to start off at the back of the heel here, at the top. Pin out. I'm going to come up. Oh, I need to change the stitch. My bad. Oopsies. Okay. And back, and make sure it came over, and I stitched it down twice. And then I'm going to keep a nice 1/4 inch seam allowance all the way around, okay? And this makes a very nice pretty finish to the stocking. And you're tucking in all your raw edges. I mean, you did it on the sock, so let's get it done on the band, right? Oops. Stretch that out a little bit there. There we go. Okay, all right. Now, when we take this and turn the band to the outside, okay, just like this, it pops it up like that. Sorry, okay. Pops it up just like that, and then you just roll the cuff down, and it's nice and even, okay? Just roll the, see, there's no raw edges. It's all tucked up under here. Nobody's ever going to see that, okay? See, tucked up under there. Okay. And then we just give that a little press. And that is our French seam Christmas stocking. I can't wait for you to make some. Everybody needs a stocking. Everybody needs a stocking. And I hope they love it. I hope even if they just use it as decoration and they have their own and they're all got sentimental value to them, that's okay. I don't mind. You know, they match, and I thought it'd be really nice to represent them as a couple and all the many years they're going to have together, and you know, just the the joy and the love of Christmas, right? And they're just so happy and they're so cute. I just want to give them something. So there we go. Merry Christmas, everybody. Oh, I'll check that out. There we go. That's so good. There we go. Thank you for watching, liking, and subscribing. We greatly appreciate it here at the Mom and Pop Quilt Shop. And hopefully Paige and Dalton really like their stocking. So big hugs from the Mom and Pop Quilt Shop. Have a great day, everybody. See you. Bye-bye.